proactive culture requires poised leadership. And whatever you think of President Obama's policies, even in the midst of a BP disaster, he seems to be poised. He seems to be, in the words of the media, comfortable in his own skin, at ease with himself, they say. And that's very important at a time like this. I remember one cricket captain here in Australia said years ago, I forget who it was, part of the art of captaincy is just to fake that you are confident. To walk out of the long room in Lord's in front of a hostile crowd, acting like you are really confident today. And I think there's truth in that. Poised leadership gives people a reference point, an unshifting point of reference in a sea of change. And that means mapping my anxiety, doing a little audit. You will face anxiety if you're a good leader in a tough time. It's about how you manage it. And CBT and other things are quite helpful for many leaders in dealing and mapping out. Just writing down what you feel is a simple way of getting those subconscious thoughts out in the open and dealing with them. But it's also about mapping the anxiety of others. Freud was right when he said there are 3 things that make us fearful. At least 3. One is, he said, the force of nature, which is so much bigger than we are. The second, he said, was our own physical inability to deal with disease and death. And the third, he said, is social aggravation. People can actually talk themselves into a state of fear around a water cooler or the dinner table at work. And we as leaders need to be constantly doing an audit of the language that is used in the team, making sure that it matches our values. The anchoring, the body language. I've known corporate leaders who've been very upfront about the fact, we are about work-life balance here. We care about our employees. But when one of their senior managers comes once in a while and says, I need to go home half an hour early if that's all right with you, because my kid is in a high school drama. They roll the eyes and click the tongue as if this is the worst possible thing you could have asked me. That's called bad anchoring. And it is not poise. It is not poised leadership. We need to make sure that we keep perspective. Because you could be where you are today, wherever that is, with whatever challenges you face, or you could be on board a certain ship on the first class deck on April 14th, 1912, singing Abide With Me. Things could always be worse than they are. You agree? Keeping a sense of perspective is important to poise. Do you know there are 3 rules in a tough time for leaders? Communicate. Communicate. You've been there. Communicate. So many enterprises, community, business, corporate, lose their way in a tough time for one reason only. People are not getting the right information fast enough.